Good evening. For any democratic country in the world, the most important aspect is the election. So, in a democratic country, the elections are conducted periodically, as mentioned in the constitution, so that the people will be electing their own representatives. So, this is the basic idea of democracy. If you look at India, India is the largest democratic country in the world. And America is the oldest democratic country in the world. When I say largest democratic country in the world, meaning large number of people will exercise their right to franchise. That is nothing but a right to vote. So that is the reason why any person in India who is registered and who is not less than 18 years of age, that person is eligible to vote in the election. Earlier, it was 21 years, but over a period of time, when late Shri Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India, it has been amended and voting age has been reduced from 21 to 18. So these are the points that we have discussed during our Indian polity classes. But why we are discussing today is because of the elections and election expenditure. Now we are going to focus on the concept of election expenditure in India. Before going ahead, we'll just have a look at this. In India, under the constitution, you have a body called Election Commission of India. That is called ECI. And if you look at every state, in every state you have state election commissions. But in this session, I am discussing only about the Central Election Commission. It is called Election Commission of India, ECI. And that Election Commission of India is with the constitutional responsibility of conducting 6 elections. So 6 elections are conducted by Election Commission of India. What are they? The election of the President, the election to the office of the Vice President, Lok Sabha elections, Rajya Sabha elections, followed by Assembly and Legislative Council elections. We know that legislative councils are present only in few states, but wherever you have the legislative councils, those elections are also conducted by ECI. Now, when you look at a democratic country, especially a country like India, we focus mainly on 2 elections, and they are considered to be the most important elections in a democracy. For example, if you look at the president's election, vice president election, Rajya Sabha election, followed by legislative council election. These elections are considered to be indirect elections. But when it comes to Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies, including that of Delhi and Pondicherry, these elections are direct elections, meaning the people will exercise their right to franchise. People will vote directly and they are not voting indirectly. That is the reason why lots of enthusiasm is there in the country or in a particular state when Lok Sabha elections are conducted and assembly elections are conducted in any state. And as far as the current situation is concerned, the Election Commission of India has announced the schedule for the forthcoming assembly elections in 5 states. They are Uttar Pradesh, the largest populated state in the country, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Goa, and in Manipur. So Manipur, Goa, Punjab, Uttarakhand, and Uttar Pradesh. So these are the 5 states that are going for the assembly elections, and these are going to be, started from February 10th, 2022, right? And as of now, this is the schedule. But if there is, there is increase in number of cases because of the current pandemic, the the election may be deferred. We are not sure, but the election commission is very clear that it is going to conduct the elections from February 10th onwards. So when these members contest in the election, anybody can contest in the elections. For Lok Sabha and Assembly, a person should not be less than 25 years of age. So these are all the basic things that we have discussed in our Indian polity classes. Now, anybody can contest with who are possessing certain qualifications, right? So when anybody is contesting means the person may be a political party person, or the person may be independent. Independent person is a person who is not affiliated to any political party. Political party member is a member who is affiliated to a political party, registered with a political party, and the political party will issue the permission for that candidate to contest on behalf of the political party, and that will happen through B form. Right? So these are the things. But when anybody is contesting, that requires spending of money, because you need to go for the campaigning, you need to go for the advertisement, you need to reach the people, you need to travel, you need this fuel expenditure, you need food expenditure. But in countries like India, this election expenditure is so huge and so heavy, and sometimes it will be really mind blowing to hear the numbers. But as far as the election commission is concerned, it imposes certain restrictions on the election expenditure, maybe for Lok Sabha, maybe for state legislative assemblies, and that will vary from state to state. And very recently, the election commission has enhanced the election expenditure. But before this one, in the year 2020, Election Commission of India has formed a committee, and that committee discussed with all the stakeholders, like different political parties and different election commissions at the state level, electoral officers, and finally decided to increase the expenditure. Accordingly, the Ministry of Law and Justice also released the notification. So from the forthcoming elections, as I told you, which is going to be started from February 10th, 2022 in 5 different states, the election, the new, the restrictions are going to come up. Fine, right? So now the point is that these are the general things. And kindly remember, whenever election commission wants to enhance, it will formulate a committee, discussions will be held with the stakeholders, and final decision will be taken. Accordingly, notification is released by the respective ministry, that is called Ministry of Law and Justice. Now, I would like to open the document and show you the points related to what was the limitation or restriction with respect to expenditure and how much it has been enhanced. As I told you, it will vary from state to state, because in every state you don't require the equal amount of money. For example, if you look at Uttar Pradesh, since the population is very huge and very high, there you need to spend more money. But in other smaller state, so much of money spending may not be required. That's the reason why it varies from state to state. How much is that? I am going to show you the document now. Kindly stay tuned. Look at this. Here it is. The Election Commission of India announced the schedule for 5 state assembly elections. I told you already. Ahead of the assembly polls in 5 states, the expenditure limit for candidates, kindly remember, candidate may be a political party member, meaning who is contesting on behalf of a political party, or an independent member. Right? This is with respect to the Lok Sabha constituencies. It is increased. Earlier it was 54 lakhs. Now it has been increased to 75 lakhs. Clear? Very important one. And for those areas which was 70 lakhs earlier, it has been enhanced to 95 lakhs. Just now I told you it all depends on the state. Am I clear? Very, 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 very important. In some states earlier, which was 54 lakhs, it has been enhanced to 75 lakhs. In some states which was 70 lakhs, it has been enhanced to 95 lakhs. Whatever the state you may belong to, my dear friends, kindly check it. What is the permitted expenditure by the candidates in the Lok Sabha election? These points are important, especially when you attend the interview. Am I clear? Right. Next. Similarly, with respect to assembly constituencies, it was hiked from 20 lakhs. Right? Earlier, where it was 20 lakhs, it has been enhanced to 28 lakhs. And where it was 28 lakhs earlier, it has been enhanced to 40 lakhs. Very, 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 very important one. Just now I told you in the beginning of the class, very soon there are going to be elections for 5 different states in India. There, what is the permitted expenditure? Let's have a look at this. For certain states, from 28 lakhs it has been enhanced to 40 lakhs. What are those states in the upcoming election? Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Punjab. Meaning, in each constituency, each member who is contesting in UP, Uttarakhand and Punjab are permitted to spend not more than 40 lakhs. And since, if you look at Goa and Manipur, these are the smaller states. Clear? And they will be spending 28 lakhs. Earlier it was 20. It was earlier 20. Now it has been enhanced to 28 lakhs. Be very clear. Whatever the state you belong to, my dear friends, please check it very clearly. And how much is the permitted expenditure in your state? That is important. That is with respect to, this assembly, and also check for the Lok Sabha elections. Am I clear? Now, we'll be going ahead. I would like to share some more information with you. Look at this. This one. Apart from a 10% increase in 2020, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the last major revision took place in the year 2014, right? And in 2020, Election Commission of India has formed a committee. Why? To study the spending limit. Clear? See here. Basically, when I say 40 lakhs in UP, Uttarakhand and Punjab, this is the limit that is imposed by the Election Commission. But sometimes, not sometimes, many times, we'll come to know that so much of money is being spent. Clear? The committee invited suggestions from political parties, chief electoral officers and election observers. And finally, they have decided to enhance this, right? The committee found that there has been increase in number of electors. Electors means voters. So as the electors are increasing, the expenditure will also increase. Increase in number of electors and cost inflation index since the year 2014. It also factored into changing modes of campaigning, which is gradually shifted to virtual campaign. And the committee recommended for enhancing, right, after taking the demand from various political parties into consideration, as the increase in electeds increased from 834 million in 2014 to 936 million in 2021. At the same time, cost inflation index also, right, increased by 32.08% between 2014 to 2021-22. Clear? And the commission accepted the recommendations. It has been this notified by the Ministry of Law and Justice. So this is about the election expenditure. This is the latest one, and in future, whenever it is increased, clear, whenever the election expenditure is increased, you need to update, right? And these are the points. Hope I am very clear. Thank you so much for being with me this evening, and I'll see you in the next session.